everybody, to the Unmasked podcast. This week, I have the very lovely, very amazing, very chaotic and funny This is Lexy, who has joined me. Welcome, Lexy. How are you doing today?
Hello. I'm good, I think. My ears just kind of had to adjust to that noise because I was not expecting that intro.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Was...
I forget to warn people about that. Yeah, that was my bad. That was my bad.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm just sitting at my desk, like tired and suddenly just hello, welcome. I'm like, oh my god. Hi.
It's like an alarm clock. Imagine that as your alarm clock.
It is. Oh my god. I can see people like turning that into that new alarm.
I probably should turn it into mine, because then I might actually wake up in the morning. Oh no! Oh jeez, I'm crow. Alright, Lexy! Are you ready for the questions?
I am so ready, and there's someone screaming on my street. What's wrong with you, dude?
Oh no! Maybe get help! Maybe they want to answer some questions, because these are very pog questions, but these ones are specifically for you. So, Lexy, when and why did you start creating content?
Okay. Now the question is, do we count like me in basically middle school making YouTube videos or not?
Honestly, talk about it, dude. Like, I want to hear everything, because it's like that's like the beginnings that got you into here later on down the road.
Well, okay, if we consider like Minecraft and gaming content, I started 10th of December 2020. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. No one's sorry, am I allowed to swear?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Oh,
you're good.
God, it's not
Oh no! That was so good. That was such a genuine like fear. Yeah, no, swearing is totally fine. I do it all the time.
Okay, because like I have a lot of friends of mine that like try to keep swearing to a minimum, so I'm like, oh no.
Oh no, that's totally fair.
Oh my god, my heart is actually pounding.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lexy. I need to tell guests about that before the episode. Like, swearing is okay. Swearing is okay.
Okay. Oh. Okay, let me just wipe the tears out of my eyes. Yeah. I said, you know what, fuck it, no one's ever gonna find my Twitch account. People have found it. Let's just put it that way. Things have changed. But yeah, I started off, doing Minecraft content, and I was like, hey, this is fun. Like, I've been on Twitch since, I don't know when I found Twitch. I know that, like, because I created a new account. Because I used to have a different account, and then I'd made the one that I have now. And that one I created 22nd of May 2020. That's like the point where I kind of properly decided, yeah, you know what, I might actually create content. I might really start this. This seems like a really good idea. It seems like something that I'm passionate about. And I just started going because I was like, I want to make people happy, I want to brighten someone's day. And by the messages that I've received from some people, especially towards the beginning, because I used to have my DMs open, so anyone was able to message me and be like, hey, we don't talk about the weird people that came into my DMs from Tubbo's server, literally asking me, would you like to be my internet girlfriend?
Yeah, no, we don't talk about
that. I've never spoken to. That was weird. But yeah, no. People like came to me and just saying thank you for doing what you do. Like, it has really helped me through some rough times, and yeah, I've had a dad stop calling me. This is the wrong time, dude.
This is dad. Shit. No.
Oh my god. But yeah, it was like a decision that I'd been like putting off actually doing for a while. And, well, if we go back to my young YouTube roots, I think that was sometime, like, I used to make, like, videos that I didn't then post,
Right.
Or, like, videos that I would then still full-on edit and everything. That was probably sometime in 2016. Where when I was 11. Um, but I was never like allowed to properly like, go onto social media as a kid. But everyone around me was doing it. And that then led to me, hey, I'll just make it in secret, don't actually post it anywhere. And just kind of have the feeling of, oh yeah, there are like people out there that support me. Because, well, I didn't really have a lot of that. That sounds really sad.
Oh.
And then, oh god, I can actually go into the YouTube dashboard of that channel and see because I still have them privated.
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna show them because they actually like reveal where I used to live and stuff. But
right, but like it's like a cool secret archive that you have of like when you first started and like how you used to do things in terms of like editing and content.
Yeah, that's always very interesting to see. Okay, let's see. Content. Okay, I posted them in 2019. So in 2019 was kind of my like, first step towards actual content creation.
Right.
Very funny videos. 3 of them in total. One of them actually had 31 views. It was my highest view count. Actually, 2 of them have 31 views in total. But yeah, those were like vlogs, and I used to want to do like lifestyle content creation. So a lot of makeup tutorials, which I was at the time so bad at.
We gotta start somewhere.
Tutorials, just like, oh yeah, this is kind of like my life at the moment. This is what's going on, stuff like that. And that has now evolved into Minecraft because I was already playing Minecraft at the time, and Lemon, actually, who's a close, IRL friend of mine, actually my best friend.
Lemon.
Yeah, we're moving in soon. Fun fact. Like, we're moving in together soon. Yeah, that's also why my dad's calling me at the moment to talk to me about our flat and stuff. But yeah. No. And then she was like, you know what, you should maybe try out like doing gaming content creation. Because I was able to record stuff on my laptop. And then she was like, oh yeah, you should do that. You should do that. And I was then like playing around with the thought. I made some, let's play videos. But I never like posted them. At the time they were like Skyblock. But like not the Hypixel Skyblock, but like the OG Skyblock with like, where you had to make cobblestone generators and everything like that.
Try to not lose your last sapling.
Yeah, oh my god, that was great.
Oh my gosh. That sounds very pog, like a very great start, and especially like starting without like posting is just kind of like you were kind of gaining the skills to be able to like fully get into it once you did start out on Twitch and like actually posting things. That's really sick, dude. Also, I didn't know that you and Lemon were moving in together soon. That is very exciting. I'm very happy for both of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Just also,
I mean, like, the flat still has to be renovated and everything, but
but it's a step closer.
The plan is that like sometime this year.
Hey,
so
Lemon and Lexy arc, roommate arc.
It's gonna be very chaotic.
Oh, definitely. And that's going to be very fun. Very fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lexy, how did you come up with your username?
Okay, this may come to a surprise to some people, may also not come to a surprise to some people. Lexy's not my real name. like a lot of people, you don't choose your username according to what is closest to your real name.
Right.
And Lexy was a nickname that was used once for me, only once, by one single person who, I don't like this guy anymore, but he was weird. But basically, at the time, like, I went to an adventure camp, like, in the mountains.
Ooh.
And, because my mom was like, yeah, let's go there. So I went there with my, at the time, best friend. And, there were these 2 guys there that were, like, close to our age. And we were looking for people that are our age that we could, just hang out with, have a good time with.
Right.
And, so, yeah, this we had like immediately first second we saw this one guy, we gave him a nickname because like he was pretending to be like all stylish and like so cool and like
no.
how guys like to be when they try to impress girls.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, so we immediately, like we put a nickname on him just to make fun of him, actually, because we didn't think that he was very sympathetic. He was like weird.
Ooh.
Weird
vibes.
Yeah. So, and then we gave the other one a nickname as well. And then we gave nicknames to each other, but everybody had like their own set of nicknames for people.
Oh, okay.
So, he then gave me the nickname Lexy. Because it was like still somehow similar to my real name, but it still has a distance to it.
Right.
And yeah, then sometime in like early 2020, I was like going around on Discord servers, still using my real name or an abbreviation of my real name. And then like there was somebody else that was using the same name as me. And we were then in a staff team together, and I was like, no, I need a different name.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, what is something that I have identified with, or a name that, I know I will react to? Because, like, let's say you give yourself, I don't know, your real name is something with an S, and then you give yourself, I don't know, like, the nickname May. You're not gonna immediately, like, pick up on it, because you've never been called that.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use Lexy. Like, I have a, to some extent, positive association with that name.
Right.
So I went around, and then I was like, okay, you know what? And I asked one of my friends in that server as well, and I was like, hey, do you think like Lexy would work well? And she was like, yeah, that's gonna go great. And yeah, so from that point on, I then started calling myself Lexy online, and I was like, actually, that is not a bad idea.
Hey.
And then I was looking for something that works with Lexy, because on Twitch, Lexy is already taken, obviously, because there's an OG using it. I am hoping that maybe at some point, eventually, let's say I get Twitch partner, I can message Twitch and be like, hey, is there, could I maybe just get Lexy?
What are the chances of getting OG Lexy?
But yeah, and then I don't know where this came from, but I was just like, this is Lexy. It sounds catchy. It sounds like something that, you can easily just say, and it's memorable. The only bad thing that comes with my name is the "this is sexy," those kinds of jokes. I get those way too often.
Oh, no!
Or, like, the most recent one was some guy came into my chat and it was completely normal chatter, and then was like, oh yeah, replace that L with an S. I was like, ban. It's like those things for me, because I'm a minor, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not 18. Like, okay, I might be close to turning 18.
But even still, even if someone was of age, that is completely unwarranted.
You don't go into someone's chat and just say, yeah, you're sexy. Like, especially, like, as someone who is female presenting, you don't go into someone's chat, especially when you have been confronted with these kinds of things often before. And on the internet, unfortunately, that does happen. I mean, like, unfortunately, like, in my experience, I got, like, one of my first unsolicited pictures on Instagram when I was, I think, 8 or, like, 10.
Oh.
Like, I've been exposed to these kinds of things for a long time already. I've been desensitized to it, but it's still something that you don't do.
Right.
Especially in a controlled environment like Twitch, where the rules clearly state, like, behave. Be a normal
don't
person.
Be sexist or misogynistic. Just because someone is female presenting does not mean that automatically they should be receiving those kinds of content, like those kind of comments or chats, because it's like, no, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
It's gross.
And, like, just because there's a select group of people that is female presenting and that chooses to use their assets in a certain way doesn't mean that everyone that is female presenting is gonna be the same.
Exactly.
Or that, we decide, oh yeah, this is the reason. Like, also, a lot of people come up to me, and especially, like, in my personal life, because like my class found out that I stream and stuff like that, and there were a lot of people that were making fun of me for it, that were bullying me for it, and I was like, what's this supposed to mean? You know, why are you bullying me for it? And a lot of them say like my success is only because I'm female presenting. And the reason why I'm able to, you know, make an income from Twitch is because I'm female presenting.
That is bullshit.
Which is not true.
It's
because
not.
I don't go out there and like, especially in the beginnings where like my growth was rather rapid. Like after I hit 1K, kind of, you know, my growth just started skyrocketing.
Yes.
And especially in that time, you look at VODs from my streams, I don't wear revealing clothing. I never have in my life because I'm just not comfortable with it.
Right.
But especially like with streaming, like my content is focused on gaming. It's focused, you know, on Minecraft especially. Like there's no connection between, you know, something that you would consider appealing to men and my content. Especially like most of my community. Yes, okay. Let's say I go onto my Discord server, right? And I look, okay, how many people, you know, identify with especially like male pronouns? Okay, you know, that is not the majority, but like a good part of it.
Yeah, like a good,
you know?
a good portion.
Yeah. And that's like, okay, fine. That's okay, but just because I am a female doesn't mean that I attract this crowd.
Right.
I attract people that are similar to me and enjoy my content.
Yes.
And my community in itself is such a wholesome and welcoming and kind community.
You do
and I
have a
couldn't have
very
asked for a
kind
better
community.
one.
Aw.
And so it's like, because and that's the thing with a lot of content creators. Like, for example, you go into like Tubbo's chat, you go into Rambu's chat, right? And a good portion of like their viewers has like similar traits to them. And also with your community, like your community is also mixed between, you know, people that are really, really chill, but also like are really, you know, full of energy and so
Chaotic.
positive and chaotic as well. Yeah.
There are some, like, I love them, but they are very chaotic at times, and I'm like, I did this. I caused this. Like, I know exactly why the people that are in my community are in my community. And when people say things like, oh yeah, the creator, like, it is true in the fact that your community is basically like an asset of you or people that are similar to you in certain ways. It is so true. And I didn't fully like understand or realize that until I started gaining a community, and I was like, oh my god, these people are chaotic as fuck. I understand why.
Yeah.
It's so true though.
Exactly. So it's like you can't just classify the success of a female presenting creator to be like them being female presenting.
Exactly.
That is not the case.
Definitely
like,
not.
for God's sake, I think the best example of that would be Finster. Do you know Finster?
I do.
Yeah. Like, you can't just say, oh yeah, you know, Finster's community is there because, I don't know, they like the female version of Finster. Like, no. Yes, there might be some people, but
that's
it's
like those
not...
specific people. It's a specific case instead of the majority.
Exactly.
And people are trying to make it the opposite. They're trying to say that, like, oh no, because someone is female presenting, that's why they have a community, instead of it just being like a specific instance. They're trying to make that the truth, and it's like, no, that is sexist.
Exactly.
It's
and like with me, for example, also like a lot of people say, oh yeah, you know, because if you look into my chat, you look into like, you know, my top gifter leaderboards or like top cheerer leaderboards, like you will see like a lot of people, you know, and there's quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then immediately it goes into, oh yeah, they're simps.
Oh
no.
My god, I hate when people say shit like that.
For example, Sneaky, who for the longest time
Sneaky.
has been my top cheerer and my top gifter, right? The thing is, you can't just say, oh yeah, you know, Sneaky's a simp. No. Because Sneaky has been here and has been gifting and cheering since moment one. Sneaky's been following for over a year now and has been a vital part of my community. And it pisses me off to no end when people just classify him as, you know, yeah, simp. Just because he's male and I'm female. that is the most, like, sexist thing that you can say. In both directions, especially.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Okay, it's true. Men get penis brain. And you cannot deny that. Especially online. But
it's true, but just the statement, they get penis brain. I've never heard someone say that before, but it is very true. I've heard people explain it in different ways, but I love that explanation more than anything else. Sorry, continue.
Like, they get really bad penis brain. Mm-hmm. And it is true, because I don't know why it is like it. But it just is. And especially online. They think, okay, protected behind a screen, you know, I can say whatever.
Yeah, I can do whatever. And it's
okay.
like, fucking no, you will be held accountable for your actions, you sexist piece of shit.
Exactly. And it's also, like, I don't know why, but just society has this clear view of, you know, female presenting, male presenting, you know, if they're good friends, they're a couple. Yeah. I have had that for the past fucking 6 years of my life with my best guy friend. People just assume.
People are gross.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, you know, a man and a woman, they're not allowed to be friends. You know, there has to be something, like, romantic going on.
Yeah.
No, it does not.
It definitely doesn't, but they try to apply that to everything that they see.
Exactly. So, for example, Sneaky gifting a bunch of stuff to me does not equal Sneaky has a crush on me, because that would be kind of weird. The age difference.
The age difference, and also the expectation of, oh, if I give you money, you will like me romantically. And it's like,
exactly.
No. I did not ask you to give money. That is your choice and your doing. Yeah. I have nothing to do with it.
Plus, I'm not gonna have a crush on somebody who lives in God knows where, and is fucking, like, what, 9 hours ahead of me in time? Like, no. Not gonna work out.
Oh my God. No.
I think I, like, went a lot away from the original question. I don't know how we got here.
It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. Questions. Next question. We've talked a lot about kind of that kind of spiel answered another question that I had, which is like, what are some obstacles as a content creator? That answered that question. On the other side, what have been some of your favorite parts about content creation?
The people that I've met. I've been very lucky with the connections that I've been able to, like, create, because a lot of, like, content creation, 90% of it is you behind the scenes trying to network with people.
Yeah.
And this is not, and unfortunately, especially as a content creator, and I would still consider myself a small content creator, right? A lot of people might say, no, you're not a small content creator, blah, 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 blah. But to some point, I still am. Because unfortunately, Twitch is really mean with who they put on the recommended page.
It's a really
what they do
system.
To push people. It's terrible.
It's weird.
And that also then makes, you know, reaching out to other people very difficult. Because a lot of the time, it is, you know, you want to obviously collaborate with somebody who you admire. And there is no shame in saying that. Like, for example, for me, like, it would be an absolute fucking dream to collaborate with somebody like Tubbo or Ranboo.
Right.
Like, for me, like, those are people that I've been looking up to since the beginning of my content creation journey.
Right.
And, like, that is completely okay, and that's completely normal and valid. Unfortunately, because of this size difference in, like, follow counts and view counts, everybody's immediately going to say, oh no, you're clout chasing. You're clout chasing.
Yeah.
And that is something that I really hate about it. However, I've been very lucky because I got presented with opportunities of somebody that was bigger than me, you know, reaching out to me as the smaller content creator.
Right.
And for example, like, probably one of my greatest moments in content creation was when I was part of Phoenix SC's Among Us event.
Right.
Not Among Us event. Fuck. No, there wasn't Among Us there.
No. There was
There we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say Squid Game.
There wasn't Among Us there. Yeah. I like. Oh my god! I'm gonna send you my favorite picture from it.
Oh my gosh.
It was so great, and that's why I always say Among Us event. because that is just my absolutely favorite picture from it. And I love it.
It's a perfect photo.
Oh, that Among Us. So close to my heart.
For audio listeners, it is Lexy in the Minecraft Squid Game event next to a tiny Among Us wearing a Squid Game costume sitting on a chair. And it's so
On a
cute.
toilet.
I thought it was a toilet, but I just said chair because I was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna say chair just in case, but it is dead ass a toilet.
Yeah, it was great. So I immediately I associated with Among Us. Anyway, that was like one of the coolest events for me because I got to be able, like, I was playing in a Minecraft game with like people that I've been watching my entire life. Like, I was in front of Captain Sparkle's screen. Like, Lance was looking at me. Like, what the fuck?
Like, hold the phone. What the fuck?
And it's like, it's really cool just to have that experience. Another one was when I actually, for the first time in my life, I had achieved 71 viewers naturally without like big raids or anything. And I started crying on stream. And then the next thing that we just did is we ended up raiding, oh God, who did we raid that day? No, we were actually, I think that was, yeah, I raided Tubbo. During Tubbo's subathon.
Oh, right.
And Tubbo actually like recognized the raid and like thanked the stream. Like, he didn't say my name, but he was like, "Thank you so much for the raid, dude." Like, it was just a crazy experience.
Right.
To just, actually have, like, as weird as it will sound, have that power or have that
kind of impact in a sense.
Yeah, have that impact, have the ability to like share your community with someone that you've looked up to and know that they acknowledge it.
It is really insane. That is awesome, Lexy.
Yeah, those are like some of my favorite moments because like I was like, my mom then immediately told me, go out with the dog right after, and I was just walking down the street smiling, still like in shock that had happened.
That is awesome. Heck yeah.
But yeah, my favorite things are definitely like the people and the opportunities that come with it, and
definitely.
Like these like special moments. Like, I've made a list of like fucking important moments for me that have happened during my like content creation journey.
It's so cool, the fact that content creation can give a person those kind of opportunities to experience.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Exactly. Or like also when you have like somebody that you used to watch or that you still watch that then suddenly follows you.
Right.
Or like, I've had moments, I go into like a partnered streamers chat and like I don't, at least knowingly, we don't have like, common friends or anything. And then I get recognized as a content creator by that content creator. It's like, it's a big like, what just happened moment.
Yeah.
You're just like, hold up.
Hold the fucking phone. What the fuck?
You currently have 120 views, but this is the first time that I come into your stream that I like click the follow button, that I say something in chat, and you just know me. That's kind of creepy. Like, dude, where did you get my address from? Like, why are you in front of my door?
Why are you here? How are you here? What the shit?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's like, oh yeah, like, I've seen your content. I'm like, what? You have what?
You have what now? I'm sorry. Hold the phone. Rewind.
Which one of my embarrassing TikToks did you see again? I recently had them.
Oh no.
One of my like biggest streamer friends recently followed me back on TikTok. And like we'd been in a call like the day before, and I just go onto my TikTok, I go to my notifications feed and just see like, oh yeah, he liked your video. And I'm just like, oh no, which video is it? I click on it and it's like one of the most embarrassing ones.
Oh,
it's literally one of the most embarrassing ones. And then like that day I go back into a call with them, I was like, I thought you liked one of my TikToks. And then they were like, oh yeah, I did. I was like, fuck.
Just like no, why that one?
Exactly.
Oh, gosh. Speaking of TikToks, or specifically your TikTok, one of the things that I wanted to bring up was you had a TikTok that went insanely viral, where you. I believe it was a stitch to a clip from one of Tubbo's streams, and I wanted to ask you about your reaction to when and as it was blowing up, and if it changed the direction that you wanted to go with for any of your content.
So the TikTok that blew up had nothing to do with my content whatsoever. It was literally just like a funny video of, because I had realized that Tubbo has a very similar bed to me, which is which is a really weird thing to like, focus on. But basically, my room is very, very small, and there is no like viable way to have a bed, a desk, and like enough storage in this room.
Right.
So, my mum and I, we then ended up coming up with a plan, and we were like, okay, you know what, we're going to build a platform bed. So we custom built like this bed and this platform into my room and into my sister's room as well, so that I can actually still have a bed and still have like a completely normal working space.
Right.
And that was long before Tubbo actually moved rooms and moved like streaming rooms and stuff. And this was like right after Rambo like also went over to the UK for the first time. And the clip is literally just like Tubbo's like, oh, he's playing VR or something, and is just like wondering if like Rambo is still awake, and Rambo is sleeping. And I was like, you know what? It would be funny if I were to like duet that clip of me just lying on my bed pretending to be Rambo, and like what I think that Rambo would have done in that situation. And it is like you can barely even see me and see my like facial expressions or anything on it, but somehow it just got like I don't know exactly how many likes. I think like 100k likes or something. And I posted it that evening. I went to sleep. And like my previous experiences with like TikToks blowing up was like 1,000 likes. And then it was like every minute.
Is insane.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. Like I wake up and I've never had my TikTok notifications on. And I'm so thankful for that, because
you wouldn't have been able to sleep.
No, well, I always put my phone on airplane mode because my mom's very like paranoid with like, oh, the radiation's gonna get to your head. Yeah. And like if we don't put our phones on like airplane mode, she's not very happy. But so, because I grew up with a time where like TikTok was still Musical.ly and everything, and there was like kind of sinful to have Musical.ly. So I've always had, like, the notifications for these kinds of, in a way, sinful apps turned off. So I go onto my phone, I'm just lying in bed. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna, like, scroll through TikTok. I go onto TikTok and I see 99 plus notifications. What? So I go into the activity feed and just see, like, a bunch of people have liked my video. And I'm like, no way. And then the
this
video...
isn't real.
Yeah, and then the video was like currently I think like 25k views, which is a lot.
That is insane.
And I was like, hold up, what just happened? So I then refresh my feed, and like every time I refresh it, it says like 10 more people have liked your video. And I'm just like, is this video currently blowing up? And I was like, I don't want to jinx it, because like if it is, then that is incredibly cool. And like I had a bunch of new followers and everything. And I ran to my sister because she also really likes TikTok, and she once had like a video semi blow up, but that was a completely different scale to mine. Like mine was so much more. And I was like, dude, like this is currently happening, like what the fuck? And she was like kind of freaking out next to me, but she was like, oh yeah, that's really cool, it's really cool. And the next thing I know, like my mum knows about it, and like I show my mum, and every time I like refresh my feeds, like 20 more people have liked your video, and I'm like, oh my god. And
so it was still, even after like however long you slept, it was still continuously just growing and growing.
Yeah,
like,
because
right
at that point, so first the Europeans had found my video, and I find that really funny because you can really see like when people usually go on TikTok, and it's usually like in the evening or like in the afternoon. You can
definitely see where people are, like it's
on based on how many likes you get.
Yeah.
So first, like the Europeans had something, and like the first day was the Europeans. And that was like mainly people like in the countries around me, like also and slowly it got outreach towards the UK area. And like it was obviously like Minecraft fans.
Right.
And then the second day though, so at that point, you know, I then went to sleep again and the video I think was at 10k likes. And the next morning I wake up to my video being at like 55k likes.
Ooh.
And then I was like, the Americans have found out. Because it was so obvious. And then like some of like I scrolled through my notifications feed and I see like this one Hannah Kate, the TikToker that is like doing a dance chain for Rambo to duet it. And Rambo knows of the dance chain. Right. And I really admired their content. And so I saw that they liked my video. And I was like, holy shit! And then I was like, okay, yeah, it's very clear that the Americans have found out. Because that was just kind of like a confirmation for me. And I was like, oh yeah, they know.
Yeah, they found it. The Americans got it.
Yep.
Oh my god, just the phrase, the Americans have found it. That sent me over the edge.
But I mean, it's true though.
It is true, and it's so funny you can literally tell when each portion, like when each thing kind of like hits. Oh my god, that is so funny.
Yeah, the video now is at 478,000 views.
Damn.
And I'm currently going into the analytics. Yeah, 52% of the views come from the United States.
Yeah.
9% from Canada. 8% from the United Kingdom. 4% from Poland. 4% from Germany, and 3% from the Netherlands.
Ah.
The total playtime of the video is 1,490 hours, 45 minutes, and 52 seconds.
Holy, and that it wasn't like a minute long TikTok either. So like that is
8 seconds.
That is
It's an 8
killer
seconds
analytic
TikTok.
time.
Yeah, and it has been saved like to like you know how like it has
you could save
like
them
the favorite
to, like,
section.
Favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. It has been saved to the favorites 4,480 times.
Hey.
That's just crazy.
That is really good.
So, and that then just really put into like perspective for me, like TikTok goes for like the funny videos.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like looking back at it, that TikTok, I made it with like no thoughts in head whatsoever.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you know, like, because I laughed at the idea of it. I was like, oh yeah, you know, imagine, you know,
like, imagine if I made this thing and posted it online.
Yeah, and it was literally like, I don't care. Like, I was just laughing because I was like, oh yeah, we have the same type of bed. That was it.
One thought, make video, post online.
Take. First take, I posted it immediately, just laughing at myself. That was it. And just to see that kind of response then was fucking crazy.
Oh, definitely. That's
Yeah.
insane. Did that TikTok, did it kind of like change how you thought about making TikToks, or did it kind of like make you think about different ways that you might want to go about making TikToks or even other kinds of content?
No. It didn't. I was then like, oh yeah, you know, maybe like my next TikTok will do well. Didn't think, like, it didn't impact my content creation whatsoever because it was such an like unrelated TikTok, and the type of content that TikTok is a completely different one to what my typical content is. Right. Like, I've changed my ways of making TikToks a lot over time. Because now I go more into, you know, like posting stream clips and editing those. And at the time, like, I was still, you know, I was going along with, like, I don't know, trending sounds or, you know, trying to apply specific trends to content creation. I currently have hiccups. I just noticed. Um,
Not the hiccups. Not the hiccups.
but yeah, it didn't really change much of my perspective. It just showed me, you can blow up any time on TikTok at least.
Right.
But just because you blow up on one platform does not mean that you are going to blow up anywhere else.
It can
And
be
that is, I
super
think,
hard
something.
to get people from one like platform to a different to swap to another platform if they don't already use it.
Yeah,
That can be one of the
I
hardest things to
had,
do.
I had, like, for the longest time, TikTok was my biggest platform. Also, mainly because of that video, but also just because, like, my TikToks were such easy content to make.
Right.
Because it's literally like, oh yeah, you make a video and you post it. That's it. Like, the longest that it was at the time was 15 seconds, and that's like, usually you try to keep your TikToks even shorter than 15 seconds because somebody like our generation is very focused on fast content. They
Oh,
want
yeah.
fast entertainment. Everything needs to be really, really quick and really easily accessible.
Absolutely.
Watching a full-on YouTube video, like, most people will click off after like 30 seconds of it. So you need to have the punchline in these first like 30 seconds.
Right.
And you have to kind of tie it so that people stay and stick around and watch the full thing. And even with that TikTok, the full on like how many people have completed watching it, or like the percentage that has fully watched the video,
Right.
is still at like 85%. So not even everybody that watched the video watched it all the way through.
Right.
And that's a crazy thing to think about because it's an 8-second video.
Right.
So yeah. But it didn't impact my way that I viewed content or went about like making TikToks or Twitch.
Gotcha. The reason I went about asking that question in that way was because there were a few people that have like asked questions of this nature of like, oh, if something's blown up, like what's the experience like for the individual creator? How does that change things going forward? And so I think a lot of people are going to be really interested to hear, especially from like with that TikTok, to see kind of like your firsthand experience throughout the entirety of that process. Let me hold on. Sorry, this has been a really fun conversation. So I'm like trying to go through and like, oh gosh, where do I want to take it next?
It's absolutely fine.
Okay. What has it been like balancing streaming, schooling, and home life? And like especially as you said, how you have school that you've been doing full time and you're also making content. What has the balance been like for you? Because I know that there are a lot of people that maybe want to start making content who are younger, and that's great. But what is it like to try to balance all of those different like responsibilities?
It's very difficult. Especially now seeing like, because I'm the same age or I'm in the same year, especially like school wise, like big creators like Tommy Innit and Tubbo and so on. Like, we're really close in age, and school wise, I'm the same like year as Tommy would be. And seeing how they decided to drop out was a really like interesting experience for me, because with me, I've always struggled with school. I'm like, my mum made me take like actual IQ tests and things like that. I'm not dumb under no circumstances. Like, I'm seen as somebody that is rather smart, but academically, like, viewing academic like intelligence and like just a person's normal intelligence, something completely different. And with school, I'm 1 year younger than everybody else, meaning I'm doing things that I'm doing like academics that is meant for somebody that is older than me.
Right.
Yeah. So you can't expect me to just like, go in there and just write straight A's. Like, no. I have like there's subjects that I'm really, really good at, and those are the ones that I'm deciding to graduate in because, I'm like, I'm not gonna now take physics as something that I'm gonna like do my final exams in and be like, oh yeah, because like physics is one of the sciences that I've struggled with the most. But like just having that and then also content creation on the side was really, really difficult for me. And I also went through a lot of like mental health issues and a lot of like family issues.
Right.
And it's really, really hard. Like, at the moment, for example, coming back tomorrow from actually a content creation break because my mental health was so negative.
Right.
And so bad. And I just also finished like my final exams. And
You've had a
it's
lot on your
really,
plate.
really hard. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm still not done with my final exams. Like the next ones are like in 2 weeks. So we'll see how that goes. But it's very it's difficult. It's really difficult.
Understandably.
And, like, if I would be able to give like advice to someone that is younger and thinking about starting content creation that still has school, don't prioritize content creation over your academics. It is so much easier to know, oh yeah, I'm done with that. You know, I don't have to stress about that anymore, because then you can put your energy into it. And a lot of people think also that like streaming is, oh yeah, you know, I boot up a video game, I talk whilst doing it, and that's it. That's the end of it. It is absolutely not.
No!
There is so much behind the scenes work. There's so much like,
so much
you know,
people don't realize going into it.
Exactly. And like that's also the thing. Like I went into content creation during like lockdown. Like I didn't have a lot of schoolwork at the time, but I still like continued doing it even as like the amount of schoolwork that I had to do just increased and increased. And then also adding like mental health, you can't predict how your mental health is gonna be.
Oh god, no.
Right? So,
not at all.
And usually like it decreases during like exam times or things like that. But when you start content creation, suddenly your mental health becomes like 10 times more fragile. It is the weirdest thing, because suddenly, you know, we're taught don't base yourself off of like the numbers that you get from it, or you know, that's not your self-worth, right? You know, you're worth so much more.
Right.
However, you need to analyze these numbers to figure out what you're doing right, you know, what can you improve, what you can take from it, what are lessons that you can learn. And suddenly, this self-worth element and the just analyzing of the data becomes one. And you start seeing it as, this is you, this is how important you are. Then having that, and then you also have academic grades, and you have parents' expectations, you have comparing yourself to your classmates, you have, you know, maybe you actually also have a hard time in school, and you get bullied by people, and then suddenly people find out about your content creation, and there's so many factors that you cannot predict, where suddenly then everything just starts to crumble, and it is the worst decision, looking back at it, to start content creation at that time. Content creation in itself, like, I'm so happy that I started it. I've gained so much from it. I've learned so much about myself as well.
Absolutely.
I've made so many new friends.
Hey.
But if I could have just moved it to a different time, it would have been so much better. But I still have so much where I'm like, I wouldn't have changed a single thing.
Right.
And that is a really interesting way just to see how this like school element and this content creation element just, they fit together really well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they do not.
Yeah.
They hate each other. It's like, it's a love-hate relationship.
Oh my god, yeah!
It's like, if you could have them as people, it would be like an enemies to lovers story. But the lovers element would only come after both of them have graduated.
I want to see this as a story. Someone needs to make this as a story where education is its like a human entity and like content creation is its own entity. Oh my god, I want to see this.
And like the romance only actually starts to blossom after they've both graduated.
Yes,
they're both like done with those like first 18 years of their life, then they can start dating. If they start before that, I am gonna throw hands. Yeah,
more like they are gonna throw hands.
True.
Oh my god.
Then it would be a toxic relationship.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh no. Twitch and education, toxic together, but on their own, pretty great. Oh, yeah. That is the perfect explanation for it. That is, but that's really insane. that, like, it's cool at this, like, it's cool but also not cool, because, like, mental health taking a dive, that part's not cool, but just, like, your experience with it and, like, your view on kind of, like, your firsthand experience with doing content creation as a student, and then also trying to friggin' graduate.
Especially, like, the worst part is that I was so close to reaching Twitch partner right before my final exam started.
Oh, no.
And then I had to take a 2-week break for my final exams so that I would, like, still had a week before them to study. And then, like, I had 4 written final exams after, like, 6 hours a day from, like, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Right there. It was the worst week for me.
That sounds like an awful week.
And then the best part of it is I met my current romantic partner exactly the week before that.
Oh, no!
And then I had all of that at once. Yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, like,
passed.
Good. Hey! Yes, okay! Oh my god. I'm glad that you passed. I'm glad that the romantic partner, Pug! I'm so sorry that that happened all at once, though, because that must have been so fucking stressful.
And then coming back from that, like, break, and then starting up content creation again, that's kind of what ruined my mental health.
Right.
Because being at that point where, like, you have, like, 75 average views, you know, you're nearly done with all of the requirements, right? Like, Twitch is, like, right before they would send you an email and be like, hey, you know, you can apply for Twitch partner now.
Right.
And then you come back and you start at point basically 0 again. That is the worst thing. And that's what I despise about Twitch so much, is because your growth, it has to be, you have to, like, literally spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week
my god.
on working on this content and providing it, and, like, streaming for a minimum of, like, an hour a day so that actually people can still come, and, like, all of the notifications have been sent out, because Twitch is fucking terrible with that. And just, like, this constant entertainment element, and you have to always be happy and positive and,
have to keep
you know,
up the
funny.
image.
And yeah, and then you also have to, like, pair it with games that you know that, like, people in your like, community enjoy. And just seeing, like, the sheer amount of followers that I lost in those 2 weeks, I lost about, like, 100 followers at least.
Oh no.
It's nearly, like, a follower a day. Like, why? It's not fair.
It's definitely rough, especially with Twitch, how it's like, oh, if you're not making content, like, it's exactly that expectation of what you said. Like, Twitch has this expectation for their creators of, oh, if you want to grow on our platform, you have to make content 24/7. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to keep up this kind of mentality and this constantly go. You have to be a cog in our machine or we toss you out.
Exactly.
And it's like awful. It's an awful mentality to put onto content creators, and it can, like, there are so many other content creators that'll say like it can be super easy to slip into this. Do whatever you can to not get into it, but it can happen so easily to slip into that, and it's like you basically have to give it your all to stream, and then give it your all to not be placed into that toxic like mindset of you are a cog in our machine, and if you're not working, you're not a part of it.
Yeah, it's so bad.
It is very bad.
And it's the worst thing that it's normalized.
Yes! Oh my god, this leads right into the next thing that I was going to talk about, was what are some things, or one thing, that you wish social media platforms, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, etc., had for tools for content creators, or is there anything you'd wish they'd change? But I'm pretty sure that, like, what we're talking about right now is kind of like the answer to that. But it's exactly that. It's like content platforms need to be able to work with their creators, and if they want to be able to keep content creators instead of constantly cycling through people because they have to leave due to burnout because of how these platforms have their things, like, strategized, that you need to change that. You can't just like, people are people, physical living people. You can't put them through this mindset and these like patterns. We are not machines. We are not AIs and computers that are like the ones that are used to make these platforms run tech-wise. We are actual people with actual lives and actual mental health. That's one thing that I wish was talked about or focused on a lot more, is mental health of content creators. Because we have to keep ourselves healthy and going to be able to keep making content and keep doing the things that they love. I hate when, like, going on mental breaks. I love the fact that content creators do that. I've done that before. I really wish that platforms worked more with their creators to allow them to do that without feeling guilty for not putting out content, because that's exactly what Twitch does. It does the thing where, like, oh, if you go on break, you're not going to be put on recommended. Or if you want to get back on recommended, you have to work your ass off for that. And it's like, no, I'm taking a break because of content. I want to come back and enjoy content, not feel bad for taking a break in the first place. It's stupid.
And, like, the thing is, especially, like, the thing with, like, getting put on recommended and things like that, is you can't just expect us to constantly provide entertainment to people when we ourselves also, we still need, and something that I also hate is, like, since I started content creation, I can't watch content without being biased. Like, I can't enjoy content anymore like I used to. Because, especially when it comes to, like, my friends' content, it's really difficult for me to go ahead and watch, like, a stream of one of my friends without comparing myself to them. And 90% of the time, it's then like, okay, but why aren't my streams like that? That's a really sad thing. But going back to what I would wish, like, social media platforms would would implement or kind of, you know, help
like
their
give
creators
as a resource.
Yeah, is Twitch expects you to be able to control people like that, literally. Because I can't just, you know, turn on a stream and suddenly just, like, have my 70 viewers back. That's not how it works.
That's not how people work.
Exactly, because I don't know, you know, oh, is this person going to show up today or not, you know? Do they have time, you know? How's their internet right now, you know? What are they doing?
Right.
Do they currently have, like, extracurriculars in school and that's why they can't attend my stream? Like, I don't know any of that. And that shouldn't be a reason, though, for Twitch to not push me onto the recommended page. Because the day before, I had my 60 average viewers, and Twitch was pushing me out, you know, was showing me to new people.
Right.
But now I have 30 viewers, and Twitch is not doing the same. Because Twitch is like, oh yeah, you know, like, currently everyone's going through exams. Like, you know, that's why, like, people aren't attending my streams, and I know that that's the reason.
Right.
Because it wouldn't make sense for me to take an announced 2-week break, come back, and suddenly, you know, my viewers just aren't there anymore. Because, you know, they decided, oh yeah, in those 2 weeks, nah, you know, Lexy, like, I know she's taking a break right now, but you know, she's not streaming, I'm never gonna watch her content again. It's not how people work.
No. It's
just
Twitch tries to automate people, and that you can't physically do that. You cannot physically do that. People are meant to be people, and they have their own patterns and factors and things that come into play, and you physically cannot automate people.
Exactly.
But that's what they try to do. But I definitely agree with, like, I wish that they had a better system, or I wish that they even had a better connection and communication with their content creators. That I feel like that would help so much.
Yeah. It'd be so much nicer.
Definitely. We are getting close toward the end, but I do have one last question for you. Because there were two, but then you answered one of them when we talked about another thing, so I was like, all right, there goes that one.
I liked doing that. I also did that with my final exams. I legit, like,
really?
I had, like, a huge presentation as one of, like, as a part of my, in total, like, final exams, because I have, like, in total, there's, like, 9 things that I need to complete to be able to graduate, and one of them was, like, a really big presentation and, like, writing a thesis and everything. So, like, my teacher was like, oh yeah, well, that just answered my next question. I was like, oh, I mean, that's good. Like, the less they need to ask, the better.
Yeah. The less less that I need to do, the more things that I can do with one thing. Ooh, that'll just make things so much better. My last question that I do want to ask for you today is, what are some things you hope to do with your content in the future? Or what do you hope to do in the future with content creation?
I wanna be able to do like more kind of like community things. Like, for example, my view at SMP at the moment is like rather dead. Let's just put it that way. Let's be realistic. So that's kind of, it's sad on the one point, but I want to like utilize maybe that server and do more things with like community events and also more collaborations with people. So something that I'm hoping on doing is maybe like starting like a content creation server, like a Minecraft server as well. That's kind of similar to Hermitcraft. Because I love Hermitcraft. I've been watching Hermitcraft for so long. And maybe doing something like that. I'm hoping to grow my community, and hopefully get that, that nice little check mark next to my name this year. That would be very nice.
That'd be very fun.
That's like, it's a really big dream of mine. And like, since I was so close to it, come on. Like, you can't tell me that I'm not able to get back to that point at some point.
Absolutely. You've got
sure
this,
that that's
dude.
the thing.
You're going to get there. Like, it's no question. You're going to get there.
Oh, thank you.
Of course.
But yeah. I also want to start more on YouTube. That is, I still have that one video that I need to finish editing.
There's always that, like, oh, there's this one thing I gotta finish doing.
Yeah.
Everybody at least has that one thing. That's the life of a content creator. You always have this one thing that you're like, fuck, I gotta finish that thing. Oh my god.
It's...
just the exasperation. Oh no, not the tears. Oh my gosh. Well, Lexy, thank you so much, dude, for taking the time to come on here, talk with me, tell people about your experience, talk about these different kinds of things with content and your personal journey. Guys, if you want to find Lexy and potentially help her reach that partner goal, you should follow Lexy at twitch.tv/ThisIsLexy. You can also find Lexy on YouTube with the same user, ThisIsLexy, and if you want to go check out that really pog TikTok, it is very funny. I laughed my ass off when I first saw it. Go to TikTok at ThisIsLexy. It's a little bit swapped around, but same thing. But yeah, Lexy, thank you so much. This has been amazing.
Thank you so much for having me.
Anytime, dude. I've been looking forward to this. I wrote out the questions for this and I was like, this is gonna be good. And then you blew that out of the water.
Oh, thank you. I hope it wasn't too bad.
Oh god, no. This has been very fun. I'm very excited to edit this.
I had a lot of fun as well.
Yay!
So yeah, also if anyone from, my community is, hey, come on, like you've seen how cool Wendell is. Just, just a little bit of Wendell promo as well. Yeah, come on.
No! Oh my god. If you guys want to check out the other episodes of the Unmasked podcast, you should go to my YouTube, Wendell Duke, or you can go to Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, basically any platform where you get your podcast entertainment except for Apple Podcasts, because that is a bitch to set up. But yeah, if you want to go check out the podcast, it's very rude. Apple Podcasts, very rude. Go check them out, and we will see you all later. Say goodbye, Lexy!
Bye-bye!
Goodbye!